Good evening to you all. Today is week 10 of this nationwide graduate IT Employability Skills Bootcamp 4.0, which is organized by Hammad Technologies and Consultancy Limited. And today is the last week for this program. So, as always, we start by showing our outlines. That is what we are going to cover for today. And our outlines for today goes like this. We are going to have a recap on week 9. Then today we are going to discuss on count ifs, some ifs. Then we are going to have introduction to PowerPoint, then question and answer, then conclusion, and finally call it a day. So if you can all remember, last week we discussed on text to column, concatenate, left, right, mid, if and, if or, then I think with learn. These are the functions and trick we discussed on last week. We have seen how they work on Microsoft Excel. So this week we are going to discuss on count ifs, some if and some ifs. So now let's quickly go to Microsoft Excel and see how all these functions work. So let me share my Excel screen. Okay, so I hope you can all see my screen. Let me write our agenda for today. We have count if. Let me clean this. We have count ifs, some if, then we have some ifs. So these are the 4 functions that we are going to discuss on today. Count ifs, some if, and some ifs. Count if is a function in Microsoft Excel that used to count how many times does a criteria appear in a column. For example, you want to know how many meals. Maybe let's take, for example, this is a data of your participant. So, okay, you want to know how many males are there or how many females are there. So now for you to count, instead of you to be counting, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what about if you have maybe 10,000 rows, 10,000 rows of data? So are you going to be following it one by one? So no. So this count if now, it will help you to count how many criteria. Okay, these are the criteria that you have, male and female. So among these criteria, you want to know, okay, how many males are there and how many females are there. So that's how this count if work. It takes only one criteria. It takes only one criteria. Or maybe in this qualification, you want to know how many HND holders are there, or how many BSc holders are there, or diploma. Or you want to know the computer literacy of the participant. Okay, so you want to know how many experts are there, or how many intermediate or beginners are there. So with this count if function, you can do that within seconds. You have to just use your range and also use your criteria that you want to know how many times does that criteria appear in a column or it appear in cells. For example, now, let's take, for example, we want to know how many times does this male appear in this gender column. Or from the participant, we want to know how many males are there. So now for us to do that, we are going to write equal to count if. So now by writing this count if now, it will ask you range and criteria. So now, first of all, what is our range? This is our range. We are talking about this gender. So now we will highlight this. Right? So after you highlight it, then comma. Now you are done with your range. Now the next thing it asks you is the criteria. So okay, now which criteria do you want to count? Is it male or female among the genders? Okay, let's take, for example, we want to count on male. So you just click on it. Or if you like, you can put it in double quotation, then press enter. So now, if we close our function like this and press enter now, so you see, so from the participant, we have 49 male. We have only 49. We have 49 males from the participant. So you see, so this is how count if work. If you like, you can now come here in the criteria. Instead of you to click on the cell, you can put it in double quotation because it's a character. So you just write male, then close it and press enter. So you see, so we have 49 males from the participant. Okay, so maybe you want to know how many females are there. The same thing, you just write equals to count if, then you highlight the range, comma, then the next thing is the criteria. So you just put it in double quotation, which is female. So then press enter now. So you see, as you can see, we have total rows of 50 rows. So from the 50 participants, we have 49 to be males and 1 to be female. Now, let's take, for example, let's change this. So you see, now for the male, let's just come here and write male and the female. So for the male now, we have 44 males and we have 44 females. So that's how you apply count if. Or maybe you want to count, okay, so how many HNDs are there? Based on the qualification. So how many HND holders are there? You just write equals to count if, then you highlight the range, comma, then what is the criteria? Let's say HND. Then close your function and press enter. So you see, now we have 5 people that are HND holders from the data. So that's how you apply count if and count ifs. That's how you apply count if. So then for count ifs, the only difference between this count if and count ifs is the number of criteria it takes. This one takes only 1 criteria. You can only count 1 criteria. But this one now, okay, you can say, okay, so I want to know how many males which are HND holders and their computer literacy is expert. So you want to know how many participants are having these 3 criteria. Male, maybe BSc holder, and their computer literacy is expert. So that's the only difference. This one, you can only use 1 criteria. But for this one, you can use as much as criteria you want. For example, let's say maybe we want to know, okay, let's say male, then let's say HND, and let's say expert. So this is what we want to find. We want to find how many males with HND qualification and their computer literacy is expert. So we want to know how many among these participants, how many are there that has this criteria: male, HND, and expert. So you just write equals to count ifs with S. Then it will ask you criteria range 1. For the criteria range 1, we are talking about gender. So you highlight the gender column like this, comma, then which criteria for this gender? Okay, so the criteria is male. So now we are done with the first criteria. Then the second criteria is HND, which is under qualification column. So it will ask you the criteria range. So for the criteria range, now you have to highlight this, comma, then, okay, so if the criteria is male, then so under the qualification, which qualification, let's use HND. Let's just write HND, comma, then it will ask you criteria range 3. So criteria range 3 is the computer literacy, which is this, then, comma, so okay, Under this computer literacy, so now let's just click on it. Let's just click on expert. Since for the first criteria and the second criteria, we wrote it by ourselves. So now let's just click it. So now by closing our function now and press enter. So now you see, among these 50 participants, there are only 2 males that has HND and their computer literacy is expert. So you see, this is male, HND. His computer literacy is expert. So if that's the only, they are the only two, they are the only 2 males that has this criteria: male, HND holder, and their computer literacy is expert. So that's the only thing that differentiates between this count if and count if. This one can take only one criteria at a time, but this count if now, it can take multiple criteria at a time. You can give it multiple criteria. As you can see now, you can even add a criteria that his salary has to be greater than, or his salary has to be equal to, or his salary has to be less than. So you can all do that using the criteria, using this count ifs. So you see, or his salary has to be equal to, has to be. You cannot use all greater than, no, his salary, you just say, okay, so his salary has to be 40,000. Maybe there are some people that they are collecting 40,000 as their salary. So that's what differentiates between this count if and this count if. You can give as much as criteria. So now let's change this criteria now. Let's change it to female. Let's see if we have females with these criteria. So let's press enter. So you see, now there is no female who is HND holder and computer literacy is expert. So now let's say, so you see, let's say this is female, right? So now let's change it to let's change it to HND. Still, then now let's change it. Let's change this to experts. So you see, now it just changed to 1. Okay, so now we have only 1 female with HND and computer literacy is expert. So that's what differentiates between this count if and this count if. This one you can give it 1 criteria at a time. This one you can give multiple criteria at a time. So that's what differentiates between count if and count ifs. Then for sum if is a function in Microsoft Excel that used to sum total amount based on criteria. Okay, so maybe you want to know how much from the data or from the participant. Okay, how much males are collecting, or how much those with HND qualification, how much are they collecting, or how much is their whole salary. Or okay, on the computer literacy, those ones that are expert, how much is their salary, or how much they are collecting. So now by using sum if, you can do that. And for you to apply sum if, you just write equals to sum if. Then what it will ask you first is the range. Okay, so now let's use gender. Then comma, it will ask you criteria. Then okay, so now let's say we want to know all the males, how much is their salary? All the males, how much is their salary? Comma, then it will ask you now, so this criteria, this male, where do you want to, which sum range are you using for you to know how much are they collecting? Then you highlight the salary column. Then close your function and press enter. So you see, so all the males now, they are this is their salary. This is what they are collecting. If you like, you can change this to female. Let's say female. So you see, so for the female, this is what they are collecting. Let's just say this is female. Then for the male, you can just drag it like, or you can just copy it and paste it here. Then just change the criteria. So now you see, now the males here, well, let's just say equals to sum if. Then it will ask you range, comma, then it will ask you criteria. So let's write the criteria. Let's use MEL. Let's use it all in small letter. Let's see whether if it is case sensitive. Then comma, Then it will ask you the sum range. Then you highlight it like this. No need for you to lock it. Then press enter. So you see, it's not case sensitive. So this is for male. So this is how you apply sum if. It takes only one criteria also, this sum if. If you want to know the total amount of a particular criteria, or you want to know the total amount based on criteria. That's how sum if work. Then for sum ifs, let's use this. Now, let's take for example, we want to know how much males who are HND holders and their qualification or their computer literacy is expert. We want to know how much they are collecting. So now for us to know how much they are collecting, since we have a lot of criteria here, we have male, we have HND, and we have expert. So now for us to apply some ifs now, we just write equals to, or let's just come down here and write equals to sum ifs. So now it will first ask you the sum range instead of criteria range. So this is the sum range, comma. Then criteria range 1, as you can see, is male. So we are highlighting the gender column like this, comma. Then it will ask you criteria 1. Okay, this is the criteria 1. Or if you like, you can write it in double quotation, comma. We are done with the first criteria. Then the second criteria is qualification. So we have to highlight the qualification column, comma. Then, okay, what is the criteria for the qualification? For the qualification, the criteria is HND, comma. Then it will ask you criteria range 3, which is the computer literacy. Then you highlight this, then comma. Then it will ask you criteria 3. So which criteria is criteria 3? So now let's write it. Let's say X part. So now we are done. Oh, now we want to know how much males who are HND holders and their qualification and their computer literacy is expert. So we want to know how much they are collecting. So now we just press enter. So you see, so now by just press okay. So now male who are HND holder and their computer literacy is expert. This is their salary. This is total amount. This is sum of their salary. Oh, let's take for example. Let's change it to BS. Let's change it to BSc and see. Let's say BSc, but this BSc has dot, so we have to put dot. So you see, so this is what males who are HND holders, who are BSc holders, and their computer literacy is expert. If you like, you can change it to female. That's the criteria. This is the criteria range for female. Then you just come here and click on the female. So you see, so now there is no female who is BSc holder and her computer literacy is expert. So let's change the let's change the computer literacy, let's change the qualification. Maybe let's change it to let's say HND. So you see, so now females who are HND holders and their computer literacy is expert, this is the total sum of the salary they are collecting. So that's how sum ifs work. What differentiates it with this sum if is the only criteria it takes. This one takes only one criteria at a time. As we can see here, you can only put one criteria. But for this, you can put multiple criteria. So that's what differentiates between this count if and this count ifs. That's only what differentiates them. So this is all what we have for Microsoft Excel. So now I think let's go to Microsoft PowerPoint. Let's go to Microsoft PowerPoint. So this is all what we have for Microsoft Excel. This is where we are going to stop. We have discussed on count if, sum if, sum ifs. Count if takes only one criteria. This one takes multiple criteria. While likewise for some if has only one criteria, then for some ifs it has multiple criteria. So now let's go and have a brief introduction into Microsoft Excel, and let's also see how we can create a slide using Microsoft Excel, using Microsoft PowerPoint. So I hope you can all see my screen, please. If you can see my screen, please let me know so that we can continue. Please, can you all see my screen? Please let me know if you can see my screen. Okay. Okay. So now, this is Microsoft Excel interface. So I believe you all know this title bar, quick access toolbar, menu bars, and ribbons. So I will not waste my time explaining all these menu bars, title bar, quick access toolbar, ribbons, and all that is. But I'll just take you through the interface of this Microsoft PowerPoint. Uh, as you can all see now, this is the slide. This, this is your slide. By default, if you open your Microsoft Excel, this is what you will see. This is the slide. As you can see, this is the first slide as it shows here. This is the first slide. If you want to add a slide, you just come and right click on this, then click on new slide. It will add another one. If you click on it and add new slide, it will add another slide. As you can see, there is a difference between this first slide and this one. So this one is the cover page slide. Then this one, it contains, then this one, the other follow the slides that will follow after this first slide, they will contain or they will carry your content or what you want to present in Microsoft Excel. Also, although Microsoft PowerPoint is among the package of Microsoft, some people use it for design, some people use it for presentation. But this Microsoft PowerPoint is mainly used for presentation, but some people use it for design. So, but we are going to use it to design a slide. So, as you can see, this is the first slide, this is the second slide, third slide. That's how you continue adding slide. If you are done with this slide, then you just new slide, new slide. So that's how you continue adding your slide. Then, if you want to delete your slide, if you want to delete slide, this is how you delete slide. Just right click on it, delete, or right click on it, and delete. Then maybe you want to duplicate a slide. What you have done for this slide now is the same thing that you follow for another slide. So for you to duplicate it, you just right click on it and click on duplicate slide. It will just add a duplication, duplicate slide. That's how to add slide, duplicate slide, and delete the slide. Or maybe you want to add a section. You want to name the slide. Okay, let's say this is background slide. Let's say this is background. So you just rename it. So you see, this one is the default slide, but this one is background slide. Then let's say, for example, this one, let's say if this is a background slide, let's say this is the slide that carry the informations. So you see, so that's how you name a slide. If you like, you can just delete it like this. Delete this one also. So you see, now this, you can remove the section by right click on it, remove the section. So that's how you add a slide, and that's how you delete a slide, and that's how you duplicate a slide or add a section to your slide. So this is by default. So this is our slide, and this is how you can add it, delete it, and duplicate it or add a section to it. Then the next thing I'll talk about is transition and animations. Transitions, as you can see, these transitions and this is animations. So transition and animation in Microsoft PowerPoint are different things. Transition is what you applied for your whole slide. For example, this your slide, you can choose any transition you want for it. As you can see, all these are transitions. You want it to be more, fade, push, wipe, sleep. There are a lot. There are a lot of transitions you can apply for a slide. Once you click on a particular transition, so that transition will be applicable to that particular slide, to the whole slide, that particular slide that you choose. And when you apply, as you can see now, if I click on this morph now, this star, as you see, this star now will appear, which shows that, okay, I have added a transition for this slide. If you want to remove the slide, the transition, you just come on this none now and click on this. So you see, it has disappeared. So that's transition. Transition is applicable for your whole slide. Whenever you put transition, so that transition is applicable to that particular slide. Then for animation, as you can see now, when I click on this animation now, all these are not colored. They shows that like they shows a how do I put it? Like they are not there. You see, I cannot click on it because I'm currently on my slide. I cannot apply animations to my slide. But when I click on this content now, this is the content that are inside this first slide. You see, now they are colored. It shows that these animations are applicable to the content that are inside your slide. They are applicable to the content that you put inside your slide. While this transition is applicable to your whole slide, to a particular slide, while this animation is applicable to the content that are in a particular slide. If you like, you can put this appear, you can put this fade, you can put this fly in, you can put this split. So you see, so that's how animations and transitions work. There are two different things, please. Transition and animation. And now, if you put this transition and animation, you can change the effect option. That's the direction where you want your animation to start from, either from left, from right, from vertical in, vertical out. So it depends on the type of it depends on the type of animations that you put. So you see this one from bottom left, from left top. So that's how it depends on. Let's put now this. So you see, so this is the effect. You can change the effect. You can put this. You can. So it depends on how you want the content in your slide to looks like. So that's transition and animation. So now, what if you are done with putting your transition and animation? So now, where are you going to see the effect of that transition and animation that you put? So that's how, when it comes to this slideshow now. So now, this slideshow, if you click on this slideshow, it will ask you to start from the beginning or from the current slide. If you want to start from the beginning, you just click on this. So you see. So that's because we did not put any content. So that's why it shows this. So this is where you click on your slideshow. This is how you click on your slideshow, either from beginning or from the current slide, if you want to show your slide. Then also we have preview. If you put a transition or animation to a slide, you can preview it here before you can slide show it. So you can preview it here. So you can just preview it here. This is where you preview your slide. So this I think this is what I'm going to talk on these menu bars, because they are the only things that are new to you. This transition, animation, then slideshow. So so now let's see how we are going to create a slide. So now for us to create a slide or presentation, it depends on the topic you choose. Let's say, for example, you just decide to create a slide based on computer, or maybe basics of computer. So whenever you are trying to create a slide, please don't you have to know your audience first. Okay, who are my audience? Okay, what I'm presenting it to matured people. So you see, whenever you are presenting something to mature people, so you have to know how how your slide will looks like. How am I going to create this slide? So you have to make your slide matured. When you are presenting to children, you have to make your slide to be childish. So it depends on your audience. There is no way you are presenting to like professors or doctors or your lecturers and you make your slide look childish. So it will somehow mismatch. But when you are presenting your slide to children, then you make the slide look like you are presenting it to mature people. It will not be engaging. The children will like just be exhausted and they will not understand anything. So that's one thing about creating a slide or presentation. First of all, you have to know your audience. Okay, who are my audience? Who am I presenting this to? That's one thing to take note, please. Then the second thing is whenever you are creating a slide or presentation, please don't use too much of text. Don't use too much of text because the people sitting or the people you are presenting your slide to or your presentation, they will find it boring. When your slide has a lot of text, you just be reading, okay, this is this, you just be reading. So you just waste your time there. Your audience did not understand what you are trying to say, and you yourself have wasted your time and your energy. So, but when your slide has pictures, okay, they will just find it very interesting. Okay, so this is the picture that shows this. You will be the one to explain what is supposed to be written in your slide, not you write it in your slide and then again start reading it. You can just put picture there, then you explain it based on your own. So that's how that's some like key things to know whenever you are creating a slide or whenever you are creating a presentation or you are trying to present something, please. So now let's just create a simple presentation or a simple slide. So now let's take for example, now if I said you should give me topic, it should just be a wasting of time. So we'll just waste our time without knowing which topic. Let's just create a slide based on computer basics. Computer basics. So now first of all, this is our first slide. So now let's remove the animation and transition. Let's just click none. This one to none. We'll apply them later when we start creating our slide. So now this is our first slide, which will take our cover page. So now for you to create your cover page, you can highlight this and delete it. So if you have maybe a flyer that you are using for creating of your slide, you can use it as your cover page. And if you don't have, it's okay. You can use your logo or any other picture that you can use there. So now let's take, for example, then we just carry our text box. Let's take, for example, we want to create a presentation based on basics of computer. Based on basics of computer. So if you just carry your text box, maybe you can just say, maybe you can write your maybe if you are from social company, you can write the company's name. Let's take for example now, let's say Hammad Technologies and Consultancy Limited, right? And then let's take for example computer basics. Maybe let's say to be, let's say presented, let's say to be presented by, maybe let's say Aliyu Muhammad. So let's say this is what your first, let's say this is what your cover page will carry. So now you just format, you all know how to format, you all know how to do formatting. So I'm just trying to format this, customize this, please. So I'm just trying to customize this. I'm just trying to customize this. Let's take, for example, on so dates. let's say on, let's say today's date, let's say 27/11, let's say 2025. Dot. So let's take, for example, let's say this is what you have for your cover page. So now, let's say this is what you have. You all know how to do customization, please. So this is just a normal customization. Then let's remove the outline. You just come to shape format, shape outline, no outline, then shape fill, no fill. So you see, let's take, for example, this is what we have. If you like, you can, let's, mhm. So now let's reduce, yeah. So this is, let's say this is what you have for your cover page, please. So you see, so this is, let's say this is what you have for your cover page. Then this blank space now you can use it. Let's say, let's just insert image. You all know how to insert image. So for you to insert image, you just come to pictures, then this device, let's take for example, then go to where your picture is. You all know how to insert picture, please. So let me just insert this. So now let's say, for example, this is my image. Sorry, please. So this one, I'm just trying to insert image. So now, let's say, for example, this is what we have. But please, now you can make this, the font color for this to be the same thing, or some part of it to be the same with the color of your logo. Like this one now. Maybe you can just highlight it and give it, let's say, text fill. I think, yeah, this is okay. So I think, oh, maybe you can just come to this and give it this. So, so this is just, but if you are good in graphic design, you can just choose any color. But please, oh, let's just give it the same color, please. Let's just give it the same color. So you see, so now our text color is the same thing with our cover page. So now we are done with our cover page, as simple as it. Or if you have a plier, please, if you have a plier, you can use it as your cover page. It will serve as this, because that plier will contain maybe your company name, the topic you are presenting, your so this is all about your cover page, please. As I said, if you have a flyer that has everything concerning your, maybe your company name, the topic you are presenting, your name and the date, so you can just use that flyer as your cover page. So since now we don't have a flyer, we just use this as our cover page. Although this color does not match this, but we are just managing it. So now the next thing, let's move to our second slide. For this second slide, let's say this is our outlines. That is what we are going to cover. Let's say this is our outlines. Let's say this is our outlines. Then now we can format this. Let's say shape fill. Let's give it this. Then this is just normal customization. Then let's give it our text fill. Let's say white. Then shape outline. Let's say no outline. So now, let's say, for example, this is our outlines. If you like, you can delete this. So the outlines now, let's just design something based on this outline. If you like, you can increase the font size. You can increase the font size. Okay, so let's just leave it like this. So now let's start with our outlines. So now for the outlines, I think let's just use something like this. let's just design, let's just try and design something. Let's just try and design something, please. Okay. So now you know how to group image, please. Just come here and click group. So now you have grouped them. Whatever you have done, now it will affect all the image. Let's say for this, let's say the shape field for this to be this. Then for this one, let's make it to be this. Then the shape outline, I think let's remove shape outline, no outline. Or this one, let's make this to be this. Then for this one, I think we can. So now let's say this is our shape field. Let's remove shape outline for this one. Sorry, shape outline, no outline. So now, no, let's manage the same color, please. Then let's just come inside this and write 1. Then let's times new Roman, Control B. This is just customization. Then now I'll duplicate this. You all know how to duplicate. Let's say this is 2. Control D. You have duplicate this now. Then let's say, for example, let's say this is 3. We'll not put much this thing. Let's say this is Control D. So I just select them all. So now for this, let's say this is, let's say you just give brief introduction to computer, let's say introduction to computer should be this. Let's customize it. Times New Roman. Control B. Let's just then Control D. Now you have duplicate this. Let's say component of computer. Let's say components. Let's say component of computer. Let's say Control D. Let's say input and output device. Or let's say, yes, let's just say input and output device. So let's remove this computer. So introduction to computer, component of computer, then input and output device, then let's say question and answer or Q&A. We are just trying to create a small slide. Let's say Q and A. Then let's change this to 4. Control D. I think I have to reduce the size. I have to shift this small. Yeah. Okay. So now, okay. So this is for question and answer. This is for input and outputs. Then let's duplicate this. Control D. Then let's call this conclusion. Then let's change this to 5. So now, these are our outlines. Then now we can I just select them all, please. It's not some I just select them all. So let me just raise this one small. So these are our outlines. So now if you like now, since your presentation is based on computer, you can just download a computer image and just put it here. For example, let me just insert computer image. I have computer image in my laptop. So let me just upload it. Yeah. So you see, you can just download a clear image of computer. So you can just download a clear image of computer. You all know how to select multiple this thing. So you see. So now let's take for example now. These are our outlines. We'll apply transition and animation letter. Let's just finish with it. So now this is our first. So now introduction to computer, which is our first outline. Then we'll come and create a slide for it. Let's say this is introduction to computer. So now we'll just customize this. Yeah, we'll just customize it, hold it, shape fill, and then let's just give it white. So introduction to computer, let's say this is what we have as introduction to computer. Then from here, since this is computer, let's just use this image, please. So let's just use it. So I'm just trying to create something here. So maybe you can just draw a line here that will serve as demarcation between the image and what you are going to put, or the definition. So now I think we can, yeah, I think this is okay. Then the color, let's use this color. So then you can come here and put this text box. So from here now, maybe you can put a definition of computer here. Maybe you can just say computer. You can just computer, maybe it's an electronic device that accept data, process the data, and give out an information. So now, let's say, for example, this is your definition of computer. So you see, the definition is not much. So don't go and put too much definition, please. Don't go and put too much. And you have to know your audience. If you like, you can increase the so you see. Now this is very short. So you can just leave it like this as your introduction to computer. Then anything that will follow, maybe you explain the generation of computer. That's why you explain it on your own. Don't put it in your slide, please. Let your slide be short, please. Let your slide to be short of text. Don't use much of text while creating your slide. Let's say this for introduction of computer. Then let's say component of computer. The next thing, let's move to component of computer. So if you like, you can duplicate this. So you see, I've told you how to duplicate and let's say this is, let's say, components of sorry, let's say component of computer. So component of computer, we have hardware and we have software. So now let's just delete this. Let's delete this. So you can just pick any topic and create a slide on it. So let's take, for example, let's say for the component of computer, let's say we have let's not use this. Let's use shape. Let's say, for example, let's say you have, let's say hardware, then Control D. And let's say you have, let's say we have software. So you see, so these are the components of computer that we have. You can change shape. You can use, let's use this. So now let's customize this, please. Let's just customize it. Let's say hardware. Let's delete this and duplicate this. Control D. And let's say this is software. So you see, so these are the components of computer. We have hardware and we have software. So this one you can just decide to not put any text. You just put the image. Or maybe you just say, so in this hardware now, we have input and output device. You can just come here and write OK. So for this, we have one. Let's say on this, we have input device. Then two, let's say we have output device. So let's say these are what we have under hardware. Then customize it. If you like, you can bold. Yeah, let's just bold it. Let's just so let's use this. So if you like, you can duplicate this. Now, then for software, let's say we have, for software, we have system software, system. Let's just say system. Let's just put it complete, system software. And let's say we have application software. Application software. So these are the two softwares that we have, system software and application software. So now, so for this, maybe for your input device, we'll customize it later. We'll customize all this. So now, let's put image of our input device and output device. Just come to image. Let's say input device, we have, keyboard. You can just then come to insert again, insert another picture. Let's say mouse. Just insert the pictures. We'll arrange them later. Then come to this, also insert another picture. Let's say monitor, yes. Then insert another picture again. Let's use printer. So you see now, so these are the hardware components that we have. So now let's see how are we going to arrange this. Oh, let's copy this, please. Let's carry it to the next slide, please. So let's just delete this. Let's just delete this. So now, these are the input device. So you can just decide to use, or maybe you can just bring this here. Then let's delete this. We don't need this. Then for this and this. So we are going to use them here. So now, let's say these are the two input devices that we have. We'll apply transition and animation to it, please. So then, sorry, for the output device, let's just feed them in. So now, I think control. Let's just delete this space. Let's use picture shape. Let's say this is input device. So let's customize this. I'm just trying to create a short and simple slide, please. Control B. No, just shape fill. Finish this. Then Control D. Let's say these are the output device. So for the hardware components, let's say this is what we have. That's for input. Yeah, that's for hardware component. We have input, and then let's say for the software, please. So let's just duplicate this. Yeah, this is our software. Then for the software, let's insert the picture. We have system software and we have application software. Let me copy this. Control C. Let me just come and paste them here. So I think, let me get rid of this. So for this, we have system software. So I think I can. So let's say we have system software. Let's say system. And let's say we have application. Application. So let's say these are the types of softwares that we have. So now let me just insert pictures. This device. Let's say we have, let's say we have this. So let's say this. I think I have another image. Let me find it, please. Where did I put it? Sorry. Let me look for it, please. Let me see lines. Okay. Please let me just look for the image. There is one image that I want to put. Oh, sorry. Let me just come back. I think it's Mac OS, right? Yeah. Let me just put the image, please. So for this, let's do this. So now, Then the last one is a question and answer and conclusion. Maybe you can duplicate this, then delete all this. Delete them. Let's say question and answer. Let's say Q and A. Duplicate it. Sorry, duplicate this. Then let's just come here and write conclusion. So now we are done with our slide. So this question and answer, or you can. But now let's see how transition and animation work. So for the first slide, which is our cover page, right? So this one, no need, we can just, you can leave it like that. Or if you like, you can apply any transition to it. Let's take, for example, let's apply this transition to it. This transition we just apply to it. Then for this, let's say these are our outlines. So for the outlines, let's give it animation. Let's say, let's just give it this fly in. But no, let's combine it, this and this. So let's give them this. Then for this, let's group them. Let's group this. You know how to group, please. It's not much, it's not something. So let's group them. Then for this, I think let's give it fly in, but let's change the effects. So my system just hooked. So let's give the effect. Let's say from left. Sorry. So let's just give it, let's say from left. As we can see now, when we are putting the animation, the effect is, it is previewing it for us. So let's give it fly in. Let's change the direction. Let's say from left. Then this one too, let's say fly in. So you can choose any transition you want, please. I think let's carry this down. So you see, this is all for this. Then this introduction to computer, you can group them like this. You can group them like this, maybe together with this. Let's say you group them. Then let's just say fly in. So then this, maybe let's just change it. Let's give it fade. No, let's use another one. So this is okay. Then for this component of computer, and if you like, let's say none, please. For this, let's say none. Let's not give this any, even this, let's not give it anything, please. So this one too. No. So let's give this and this like. So move, and this move earlier now. You can change this move earlier. Maybe you can decide to choose which one will come first. Then for this now, these are component of computer. Let's use fly in. Then we have this also. Then this and this. Or let's just give them. I like using this fly in, that's why I'm using it all, please. Then, or let's say this should come first. Then this should come first. Then later on, this should come. This should come. This should come. Then followed by this. So let's apply the same thing here. I like using this flying in place, so you can use any transition or any animation of your choice, please. Then let's say this. Let's say this. Let's say this. Let's say this. So now this question and answer, I don't actually know what to put in this question and answer, but please you can put anything, even in this conclusion. You can just think of anything and put. But now I just want to show you how this uh animation and transition work. So now as you can see from our slide, these are our outlines. This is introduction, the definition, introduction to computer. Then now as you can see, this component of computer, we not start defining, okay, component of computer. This is, we have hardware, we have, so then maybe after you put hardware, you put, okay, so hardware, you just put definition, this. No, please. No, please. You can just use you can just use image to explain anything. Okay, so under hardware, we have input and output device. Okay, so input device are also device that we use to input data or something into computer. Output device we use to input them. For example, we have computer. So that's how we create a presentation. Or you say hardware are those components that we can see and touch. So then you come to, okay, software are what gives computer the instruction. Under it, we have system software, we have application software, system software, explain system software. Then you said, for example, we have window Mac. So that's how we present a slide, please. So now let's preview and see how this slide work. Let's put slideshow. Let's say from the beginning. So you see, now from the beginning, this is how it will looks like. Then, so this is it will, by just clicking your left arrow or right arrow. So you see these are outlines. So the first outline is this introduction to computer, computer components or component of computer, input and output device, question and answer, conclusion. Then you just click on it, will just carry to the next slide, which is introduction to computer. So you see, so computer is an electronic device. So you just be explaining. Then after that, you move to next slide, which is component of computer. So you just say component of computer, we have hardware. Then under hardware, we have input device, we have output device. Then under, so you explain, okay, so input device, oh, hardware is a part of computer that you can see and touch. So under part of computer, we have input device, we have output device. So under input device, for example, okay, we have keyboard, we have mouse. Then you explain, okay, how this input, how do we, why do we categorize this into input device? You just explain that without using much of text in your slide. Okay, then output device, we have monitor. Okay, you explain why they categorize monitor as an output device, printer. So that's how you continue. Then moving to the next component of computer, which is software. So under software, we have system software, we have application software. So under system software, we have Windows, we have Mac OS, we have, under this application software, we have some example like Microsoft Excel, like VS. So that's how we continue. Then maybe this is supposed to be question and answer. I put Q and Q, question and answer. Then you can just leave, find image of question and answer and just put it there. Maybe after you finish answering your question and everything, then you just come to conclusion. So in this conclusion, maybe now you can just come to this conclusion and put let's just say, you can just put let's say thank you. Let's say thank you. So you can just hold it, then customize it, then increase the font style. So you see, so you can just put it like this. You can put transition, or you can put animation to it. Or you can put display. You can put anything. So you see, you can put any type of transition you want, but please don't make your presentation to be childish. So this is how you just create a simple presentation or a simple slide. You see, our slide does not have text. Your audience, or your targeted audience will not find it boring whenever you are presenting something to them. So I think this is what where we are going to stop for today, please. So if you have any question, you can ask. We have less than 5 minutes. So if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat. Although I've seen some people are asking, please, can we have week 9 class for those of us that meet the class? Yeah, we'll drop the video soon. And inshallah, maybe today's night or tomorrow, I will send you your week 9 assignment. So please, if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat. We have not gotten video for week 9. Or is there no assignment for week 9? There is assignment for week 9. We are sending it today or tomorrow, inshallah. So please, if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat. If you have any question, you can drop it in the chat, please. Okay, so yeah, the recorded class for week 9, please. We'll drop it soon. Maybe together with your week 9 assignments. We'll drop it soon together with your week 9 assignment. So we have less than 4 minutes, please. If you have any question, you can drop it in the chat. Okay, inshallah. So I think for the absence of questions, I think we can just call it a day.